This is Mashhad, Iran's second city, home to one of the most revered sites in Shia Islam, the Imam Reza Shrine, burial place of the 8th Shia Imam. It's a big draw for Shia pilgrims from around the world, particularly from neighbouring Iraq. Iran's galloping inflation has made it extremely cheap for Iraqi tourists to spend their money here.
The cost of living has gone up compared to before, but the dollar exchange rate is favourable to us. Before we exchanged $100 for 1.3 million riyals, now we get more than 5 million.
For Iranians, a very different picture. People here say there's nothing they can do but hope for a better future.
They say there aren't any problems, that the economy is fine. But we can see it everywhere, we can feel it. Our young generation is going to waste. Those who can leave Iran have already left. Those of us who have nowhere to go have to stay and bear it.
Yes, it's tough. The cost of living crisis is a big issue. I hope things will improve in the future.
Ebrahim Raisi, laid to rest here in his hometown, was elected in 2021 on a pledge to lift Iranians out of poverty. But under his presidency, the economy didn't improve. Iran's clerical rulers vet the candidates vying to replace him on June 28th, meaning big change is unlikely.
I'll take part in the elections out of respect for Ebrahim Raisi. I'll vote for someone similar to him who also carries on his policies.
Years of sanctions have battered Iran's economy, and it means that in the upcoming presidential elections, there can be no doubt that the cost of living crisis will be one of the biggest issues on voters' minds here.
Well, France 24's Andrew Hilliar, who filed that report, joins me in the studio. Andrew, first start by telling us more about Iran's political calendar. What comes next in the build-up to this election?
Well, Karis, just some key dates to begin with. So today, the registration period for presidential candidates opens in Iran. That will close next Monday. Then it'll be the start of the official presidential campaign from June 10th. That's before the presidential vote itself is held on June 28th. Now, what about the process itself? Well, it's no secret, Karis, that Iran's clerical rulers exert a big influence over the electoral system in Iran, in particular via the Guardian Council. That is a 12-member body composed of theologians, half of them selected, handpicked by the supreme leader, the other half selected by the judiciary and then approved by Parliament. Now, this body is very important. Why? Because it vets candidates not only for the presidency, but also for Parliament and for the Assembly of Experts, another elected body which is tasked with choosing the supreme leader. And effectively what happens is that candidates who are not seen as adhering to strict Islamic precepts are effectively screened out. Critics say that narrows the field of candidates down, screening out reformist candidates and leaving a field of mainly hardline conservatives.
All right, and that report that we've just seen, you travelled to Mashhad as part of a team. What was the experience like travelling and filming there?
Yeah, so our France 24 team was given permission to report from Mashhad on Ebrahim Raisi's funeral procession. Now, this is something I think that Iran's rulers wanted the world to see, and that may be why foreign media such as France 24 was given access to report from Mashhad. We were given the green light to go to Mashhad only a few hours after putting in the request. That's something that rarely happens. Once we were on the ground, we were never hindered in our reporting as long as we stuck within the confines of our accreditation. And this is indeed what Iran's rulers want the world to see. Images of thousands of people in the streets for that funeral procession. It's how Iran's rulers project an image of legitimacy and of continuity. Now, by our count, there were definitely tens of thousands of people in the streets, as you can see in these pictures filmed by our France 24 team. At one point, the mayor of Mashhad even claimed up to 3 million people were present. Now, that would be the equivalent of Mashhad's entire population. So that's very hard, if not impossible, to verify. But amongst those people who did attend, there was definitely, I think, a lot of enthusiasm to pay tribute. These are people who support supported Ebrahim Raisi for his hardline policies. They supported him for his unwavering obedience to the country's supreme leader. And these are people who essentially were very happy and curious to see foreign media present and were very open to speaking to the media.